All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Week number 7, we got Monday Night Football, one of the two games. In this video, I want to dive into the Cardinals and Chargers game. We already recorded, and by the time you guys seeing this, should have published the Bucks and Ravens game if you are looking for that. But like I said, we're diving in this video into the Cardinals and the Chargers game. I'm going to give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about a few player prop spots I like as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment of this video. That is where all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If you want to ride with me or if you want to fade me, all of those plays are going to be in the pinned comment. But let's go ahead and dive into this one. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button as well, and let me know and others know your favorite plays for this game in the comments. Tell you guys all the time, a lot of people in the comments a lot smarter than me, helping a lot of people win some money. So make sure to get your plays in the comments. But right now we're looking at the Cardinals at the time of recording, 2.5-point dogs at home. The total is sitting at 44. Cardinals come into this one 2-4 straight up, 3-3 against the spread, 3-2-1 to the over. Chargers 3-2 straight up, 3-2 against the spread, 1-4 to the over there. This is an interesting one because one thing I will note right off the bat is that the Cardinals, by a couple, I think, percentage points, have the hardest schedule so far. The schedule against in the NFL through through 6 weeks now. Chargers are top 10. They're tied with a few other teams that tied 9. But yeah, Arizona, number 1 team in terms of strength of schedule this year. So they're 2-4. They've kind of gone through a gauntlet here. We'll talk about it a little bit more in detail when we get into some of the specifics of this game. But just from like a high level view, they go Buffalo, Rams, Detroit, Washington, San Francisco, Green Bay. Like, that ain't the easiest of schedules. The Chargers so far have had Las Vegas, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and Denver. You know what I mean? So there are a tale of two different things going on here, but let's dive into this game. I kind of want to start with the injury report. We can share our screen and just kind of go through it. Nothing too major, I would say here. So this is the Chargers side of things. Herbert, who's been banged up, he's good to go. The only thing on offense, obviously we have a lot of IR guys and whatnot, but Johnston and Lad McConkey going to be a couple things to keep our eye on, but questionable and doubtful. We should know where they're going. I expect McConkey to at least play. Joey Bosa may be coming back. I believe, what has he missed, 3 weeks, 2 weeks? Hasn't played since week number 3 at least. He is doubtful, and then a little bit of their secondary maybe banged up a bit there. Arizona looks pretty good, other than the IR spots here for the offensive side of the ball. Some question marks on the defensive side of the ball, but like I keep telling you guys, we're, in week 7 of the NFL season. Guys that are questionable, a lot of them end up playing. It's more important to make sure you're keeping an eye on if they practice and whatnot. So huge kind of advantage there to see if a guy is going to play or not. But overall, should have both sides fairly healthy. If we dig into this one, defensive DVOA wise is going to be the first thing that I look at here. The Chargers look like they have a really good defense. Now, I already went through their strength of schedule and whatnot. Maybe they've played a couple cupcake type teams, but they're the 3rd best defense from a DVOA perspective, 4th against the pass, 7th against the rush. That compares to Arizona's offense at 15th overall, 15th in the pass. This is their offense, and the 21st for run. So far we've seen some inconsistency and some serious inconsistency here out of Arizona going up against what should be a good defense. But like I mentioned, there's a little food for thought there that maybe the Chargers just haven't necessarily played anyone that is super offensively talented. You know what I mean? And if we look into Kyler Murray now, first off, I looked at, okay, well, is this Chargers team blitzing? Do they apply pressure? Do they get to the quarterback and sack him? Not really, which I kind of bring that up because Kyler Murray's actually been really good against pressure this year. He's got the number 1 completion percentage in the league when pressured. But the Chargers don't pressure a lot. You know what I mean? Like, their defense is making up for it in a lot of other ways, not necessarily just after the quarterback. Now, Joey Bosa may be coming back. That's going to give a little bit more pressure. But overall, I do think Kyler Murray should be comfortable back there. But it's kind of, I don't know if funny is the right word, but funny that he's actually been better when pressured. And it makes a little bit of sense, right? He can get mobile. He can kind of get going and that type of thing. But overall, I do look at this spot and say, okay, well, Kyler Murray's not going to be running around like a chicken with his head cut off and whatnot. He's probably going to have to become somewhat of a pocket passer, which isn't necessarily his forte, but, and it's a big but, and we all like those, you have Kyler Murray, who has been phenomenal against zone this season. Los Angeles, the Chargers running, I think that's like second highest frequency in the league through 6 weeks, zone coverage. Kyler Murray's been really good against it, like I said. Fourth highest completion percentage, seventh lowest turnover-worthy throw percentage, top 10 in success rate, and the second in accuracy rate as well. So overall, I do think if Kyler Murray has to be sort of a pocket passer like the Chargers may want him to be, he should be okay because they run a lot of zones. So I do look for Kyler Murray to actually have a decent game here. I don't necessarily love the run game from Arizona. Now, the pass defense has probably been arguably better for the Chargers, but sort of the way that I think this game plan goes, I don't necessarily love James Conner and company against the Chargers. But if we flip it over to the other side of things, you have Justin Herbert, and the naked eye seems like this is a pretty bad Arizona team, but I already mentioned what they've had to go through, right? Think about the quarterbacks they have played. Allen, Stafford, Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love. Like these guys are some of the best quarterbacks in the game, and Arizona's already faced all of them through their 6 weeks, right? So Justin Herbert should be okay on the Chargers side of things, but in terms of completion percentage and a lot of quarterback metrics, like either all of these guys or all but one or two of them rank higher in terms of like EPA per drop back or completion percentage. Like Josh Allen's the only one, other than Jordan Love who's been injured, but Josh Allen's the only one that ranks lower from a completion percentage perspective than all of these guys with Justin Herbert included. It's only a matter of like 1.6%, you know what I mean? So this should be, all things considered, maybe the easiest quarterback matchup that the Cardinals defense has had to go through. So I think that they may actually look good from a defensive perspective against the pass, which has not been the case this year. But again, they went up against some great quarterbacks, leading them to be ranked 28th in terms of pass defense DVOA. But overall, I really don't mind it. You know, their EPA numbers aren't all that terrible and whatnot. What I worry about is the fact that J.K. Dobbins' run style and everything like that may be able to give the Cardinals some issue here. He's been getting a lot of carries. Gus Edwards, banged up, but it looks like I believe should be good to go there. But either way, I think that, I don't know, Gus Edwards is on IR, right? So J.K. Dobbins' backfield overall, like, I don't think that Haskins and then Vidal or whatever his name is are going to get many carries. So it's a J.K. Dobbins backfield. I think that he's going to have some success there. But to me, I don't know if the Chargers, just running the ball, allow them to pull away too much here. So I am going to, in terms of my spread lean, take a peek here at the Cardinals. Underdog at home. It's 2.5 right now. I'd love it at 3 or even 3.5 if we can get some sort of manageable odds. But to me, I think the Arizona Cardinals could have some offensive presence in this one. They have been so inconsistent, but I'm almost calling a little BS on this Chargers defense so far. They really haven't beaten anyone legit, and even from a defensive perspective, they held Kansas City to 10 points, but that was a messy game. The other, real team that they played was Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's offense is terrible. Do you know what I mean? So the teams that the defenses look really good against have been Las Vegas, Carolina, Denver. And then, even Pittsburgh scored 20 points on them. So maybe this defense isn't even all that great. I think they scored 20 points. So Kansas City scored 17, Pittsburgh scored 20. You know what I mean? Like, it's if they face a decent team, they've kind of crumbled a little bit. Now, I can see the path to it because, again, all of those numbers we look at from a defensive or offensive perspective, the Cardinals don't have anything to show for it so far. The one thing that I would say is that when they've won, they scored 24 against San Francisco. Good defense, right? They scored 41 against the Rams. Not a good defense, but 41 points is 41 points. So, to me, I think this Cardinals team kind of pulls out of what they've been doing, which is scoring less than 15 points in 3 of their last 4 weeks. I think that they kind of show up here against the Chargers defense, in which, yes, it's a good defense, but Kyler Murray should fit the bill to be able to pass on them. So give me the Cardinals plus the points. And then in terms of a total, I think I have to take a peek, I guess, at the over. I think that correlates more. I don't think the Cardinals win a defensive game. You know what I mean? Even though I think the Cardinals defense could look a little bit better against the pass, the run still kind of worries me. I think that J.K. Dobbins could kind of have his way. We'll talk about player props in a second. And I like Kyler Murray's spot, and a quarterback that's slinging it and passing it well is going to lead to, points and stopped clock and that type of thing. So I'll lean towards the over 44 here. Maybe we could consider, and I don't know what it's at, we can probably check really quickly here, what we see for like a Cardinals team total over, because that fits a lot of the mold here. So over 20.5 for -130. I don't mind that, but I probably still like the Cardinals plus the points there, as well as the full game over instead of that. But why don't we go ahead and talk about some player props here. Before we do that, guys, Talking about a player prop, how about a freebie over on Underdog? We like Kyler Murray in this matchup, right? Well, I like this even more. 0.5 total yards. All you have to do is add him to your entry, and he's going to boost the payout there. And by the way, if you sign up today and use the link in the pinned comment and or description, it's in both places, you are going to get up to $1,000 in cash when depositing. So you deposit your own money, and they will give you extra cash to play with as well in your entries. And if you don't know what Underdog is, you make an entry out of one or two or more players, The more you win, the more you get paid out. It is super fun. I'll show you how easy it is at the end of this video. We have an Underdog slip that will roll with, and just a couple of the player props that we like, and if it cashes, we'll do a little giveaway, right? We'll talk about that at the end of the video, but you can see how easy it is to get these plays in. So go check it out. Get that free square, the Kyler Murray 0.5 total yards, as well as up to $1,000 in a deposit bonus. You gotta go check it out. That link is in the description and the pinned comment, wherever you feel it's easier to find it. All right, we jump over to the outlier screen here, and I'm liking Kyler Murray over 211.5 passing yards. I also really don't mind his pass plus rush yards. Now, again, you look at some of these numbers here using outliers data, passing yards allowed to the quarterback as well as rushing yards allowed to the quarterback. You can see the Chargers rank pretty damn well, top 10 in terms of lowest allowed for both, but they just haven't had the same sort of quarterbacks come through. Now, they've played some good quarterbacks, right? But I do think that they've had a little bit of a schedule. Like, they have Bo Nix, they have the Panthers, the Raiders. Like, they don't have this plethora of good quarterbacks. I think Kyler Murray outranks those guys a teeny bit. We even saw Bo Nix run for a decent amount. I think it was like 61 yards on them. So that's why I'm kind of considering Kyler's pass plus rushing there as well. But yeah, pass yards, 211 seems a little bit too low to me. He's only hit it in 2 of the 4 games this year, but he's been damn close. Like, we're talking 1 or 2 passes away from cashing this one, So Kyler Murray over 211.5. He's definitely passing the ball enough per game. 28.3 pass attempts. Where they have his line for this one is 31. It is plus money, but if they're thinking he's going to throw the ball, 30 plus times in terms of what he's averaging for each pass, so we can go to here, right? Where is it? Passer rating, pass completions. This is why I love Outlier. You can see passer rating. Let's see, average on target percentage, drop back, air yards. All right, so we jump into the Outlier screen here, guys. Outlier is a great tool. We also have a link in the pinned comment for 7 days free of this tool. But I'm looking at Kyler Murray. We just talked about him with the Underdog, but I actually like his over 211.5 passing yards. He's only hit the over in 2 of the 6 games so far, and it looks like the Chargers are pretty good against the pass. But like I said, they really haven't faced a long list of great quarterbacks. 3 of their games so far have been the Raiders, the Panthers, and the Broncos. And Bo Nix even ran a decent amount on this Chargers team. So I'd also consider Kyler Murray's over 250.5. Again, these numbers I think are misleading based on the strength of schedule. In fact, we can even show you those strength of schedule numbers. Remember what I said earlier? Look at this. Arizona, number 1 in terms of strength of schedule, strength of victory. Both teams are kind of down there, so a little bit similar. But back to this. I think that Kyler Murray can get this done. He's hit in 3 of 6 for his pass plus rush, and then his passing yards overall 211. Even in a couple of these that he's missed out on, he's been 1 pass away or a couple passes away from cashing that. So I'm really not totally buying exactly into this Chargers defense to shut down Kyler Murray. I think, one, we talked about the zone. I think that he's going to play fairly well against them. Kind of in the same light, we can see Trey McBride. I like him for over 51.5 receiving yards. Now his receptions is at 5.5. He's been clearly getting the ball a ton, right? When we look at his targets, he's getting nearly 8 targets per game, but his receptions, his receiving yards sitting at 51.5. The guy's averaging 9.3 yards per reception. So if they're thinking, he's going to go out there and catch even 5 balls, that'd be 45 as a floor for this. 1 more pass, and we're looking at over 51. And you might be looking at this being like, oh man, receiving yards, top 10 defense against them, right? Yeah, but if we filter to tight end specifically, 26, averaging 54.4 yards to tight ends this season. He's already been going off in the last couple weeks. So I like him to kind of correlate here with Kyler Murray in terms of Kyler Murray's getting some yards passing as Trey McBride catches it. Now, I alluded to it a little bit earlier. I like J.K. Dobbins in a couple ways as well. I like him to score a touchdown here. You can see Arizona against running backs allowing 20th, but they've been allowing plenty of rushing touchdowns overall here. He's going to get all of the attempts in terms of, even if we look at his yards, I don't mind mind his 79.5 for plus money. That seems like a decent deal as well. He's hit it in 3 of his 5 games this year. But overall, if you look at his rushing attempts, right, 25 attempts last game. That is due to the fact that they are thin at running back right now. So I really don't mind it. Yeah, touchdowns, they were good against running backs. Second most yards per game to running backs, Arizona is. So I think that this is a Kyler Murray passing game, which kind of leads to Trey McBride, as well as a J.K. Dobbins rushing game as well. So I like him, whether it's his yards or just for him to punch one in right now, minus 111 over on Caesars. You know what's cool about the Outlier app? Say we want to jump on this right now, right? You click that, you could scan it on your phone. You could also continue in browser, and it's literally going to put it in your bet slip. You don't have to go digging for it. I think that's one of the coolest and most convenient things that they offer there. But anyways, to recap, we like Kyler Murray passing plus rushing, Trey over 51.5, and then J.K. Dobbins, I like him to score a touchdown, anytime touchdown, as well as his rushing yards. Now, like I mentioned, guys, we do have a little giveaway here if this plays. I already talked about Underdog. We're going to jump into Underdog right now, and I'm going to go show you how easy it is to throw in a play like this. And then if this one hits, we're going to give it away. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is comment Underdog, UNDERDOG. Spelling Bee Champ. Comment that as well as your Instagram or Twitter username. Let me know, so clarify which one it is so we can reach out. But comment that, and we will be giving away the winnings if this slip hits. So let's go ahead and jump into the screen here. Like I said, it is super easy. So we're on the main screen. All we're going to do is Kyler. I'm going to look for Kyler Murray. I think I like his, I don't know if I want to go with his passing yards. I think I'm going to go with his pass and rush. We're going to go with J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins here. Let's go with his over rushing yards, and then Trey McBride here, his over in his receiving yards. Where's he at? 51.5. $20 on this will pay out 99. We could do let's do that. 3 for 3 pays out 99. So we'll give away the winnings if this play cashes. Again, all you have to do is add your Instagram or Twitter handle in the comment with the word Underdog. Let's enter that bad boy, and let's run it there. So there's our giveaway, guys. Again, that is going to be Kyler over in pass plus rush, J.K. over in rushing, and then Trey McBride higher than 51 receiving yards. See how easy it is to enter a slip on Underdog. You gotta love it. But guys, it's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.